there, demons? It's me, your boy. Okay, I really had that one planned out. We're a Dark Screen Society. We're back. We took a week off last week. Sorry, we were sleepy. Just kidding. I was in the woods, but we're back. All of us are here. Who do we have? We have Seth. Say hi.
What's up, y'all?
And we have Brian.
How's it going?
And we have Chuck.
Hey, everybody.
And me. And we're doing possession horror this week. Are we so excited?
We
I'm
are.
stoked.
Wasn't.
Nobody seemed excited. For
Take
Greg.
my body, demons.
What? Who says it? Is it an Ace Ventura when he's like, exercise the
It's the
demons?
demon, yeah.
I have exorcised the demons.
That's
the
we should have
best.
opened it up with that. Damn it.
Next time.
Oh well. Next time.
That's our new catch. That's a new catchphrase.
I know, exactly. Okay, let's start with what did everyone watch this week? I'll start with you, Brian. What'd you watch?
The best thing I watched this week was a Swiss movie, which I'm going to butcher its name. It's called Senentucci. It's a folklore horror about, like, it's a, what's the word I'm looking for? A tale, a legend that when the guys are lonely, they go up in the Alps and they all live together. So there's 3 guys, and they're like, if we can like cast a spell and get up like a rag and a broom, we can make a woman that will cook and clean for us, and they'll come to life. And then at night we will be able to do what lonely men want to do with a woman. So that suddenly a woman appears, but the legend also says that the woman will kill the 3 men, and it's one of the best like horror mysteries I've seen in forever. Like, it's so good.
Good for
two
her.
things.
Sounds good.
Yeah. 2 things. 1, you got to read the fine print, and 2, I thought you said Stanley Tucci was the name of the movie. I was
know.
like, what?
No, same here. I was like, what movie is this?
I love the Stanley Tucci movie.
Yeah, it's my favorite
So
one.
good.
That's amazing.
Well, that sounds incredible. Wait, what was the name of this again?
Stanley Tucci.
Senentucci. Stanley Tucci.
He's our new sponsor, guys.
I know.
Right.
Chuck, what'd you
Shout out.
watch?
Shout out Stanley Tucci. The most notable thing that I watched this week was St. Clair. St. Clair is a film by Mitzi Perrone, who did Braid. It's on the festival circuit, and it's about this Catholic orphaned woman that hears voices in her head and this spiral that it kind of goes down. I had to watch it twice. It has a lot going on. But I liked it the first time I watched it, and I loved it the second time that I watched it. But that's the most notable thing that I watched this week. I have a review out on the 25th.
Ooh, nice. What'd you watch, Seth?
I rewatched Cuckoo actually last night, and I know that just hit theaters. So that was my second time watching it. I know you and me, Gigi, saw it at Overlook, but after a second viewing, I definitely appreciated it more. Like, I loved it the first time, but the second viewing, there were so many things I didn't pick up on that, like, that movie definitely takes a few viewings to really understand what's going on. But I
Totally.
moved it from like a 3.5 stars to 4, so it's a banger. And Dan Stevens can do no wrong.
I love Dan Stevens. I think that's like his best role.
I agree. I love
Yeah.
his accent.
It's so freaking good.
It's definitely his best.
Yeah.
I agree.
So I watched hashtag AMFAD, All My Friends Are Dead. That's the JoJo Siwa horror movie. And I'm not gonna lie, it was really fun. Like,
I loved it.
dude, did you watch it, Chuck?
Yeah, I loved it. Yep.
I thought it was so freaking fun. And like, I mean, not like this is not a real big spoiler, but it's kind of unfair that they say it's like JoJo Siwa's horror movie because she's like not really in it. She's just like this floating character. But that was a great time. And I also
It had
watched
some
go ahead.
great kills in it. It had some great kills
Dude,
in it.
the kills, it was like there was really bad bloody CGI at times, but then there was really fucking good practical effects where I was like genuinely amazed by some of their practical effects and kills. It's kind of like
Yeah.
very Saw-esque.
I even think the shitty CGI in some of them scenes actually played into like the campiness of like how like a lot of the characters in the movie were just like these big over boisterous like wooden characters. So like I think
Yeah.
that kind of like played into how superficial like people are in real life kind of thing. I don't think it was intentional, but I kind of got that from it. But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, that was a really good one. And then I
Hmm.
watched The Fly for the very first time.
Thank you.
And I loved it. I was expecting to hate it because I am a Cronenberg hater, like everyone in the
Mm.
family. Like, that sounds so mean. I think she's, like, the less, like, weird one, but I think Humane was, like, a good, like, breach into the, horror realm, and, like, I think she'll do, like, a I think she'll continue to grow because Humane wasn't my favorite,
It
but,
was mid, and I don't use that
yeah.
word often. It was mid.
No, I thought it was, like, very okay, and I am just not huge on the Cronenbergs, and I fucking loved The Fly. I thought it was a masterpiece, so
It's based on
also
a episode of The Simpsons as well.
no, it's not. Is it?
Yes. No, there's a Simpsons episode about it.
Oh, I was like, I thought this was a remake of, like, a '50s movie.
I still need to
The
watch The
Fly.
Fly.
You've never seen it?
I need to.
I mean, The Fly is as good as The Thing. The Fly is such a good
Yeah,
gateway for Cronenberg because it
yeah,
has some weird shit in it, but it's not like super duper weird.
yeah. It's not
But
like you have
but
to
I
really think about what's going on. It's very
no,
straightforward.
but I think once you hit I think once you do The Fly, I think it makes Cronenberg more digestible
Totally.
because you already are going in like with something that you like so much. So I don't know. I think because that was my gateway to Cronenberg, and like, but I also like extremely weird.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm really happy that you watched it because it's such a fucking phenomenal film.
Yeah, that was one of those movies I was, like, always afraid to tell people where I'm like, "I've never seen it." That and Rosemary's Baby, but then everyone was like, "Rosemary's Baby kinda sucks, so don't worry." And I was like, "Oh, okay, good."
I've not seen it.
Yeah. I'm more disappointed you haven't seen American Werewolf in London. So please do that
Yeah, I
as soon as
know,
possible.
I know. Okay, so let's get into the freaking meat of our episode, guys. Possession. Possession movies seem to be the subgenre I feel like most people are scared of. Like anytime people are like, "Oh, it's possession," I can't do that. Like that scares me. Why? Why do we think this? Chuck, I'm going to start with you.
I think most people are scared of possession movies. I think that a lot of people, whether it's, I don't know, whatever religion is, but I think a lot of people have like some sort of spiritual or religious beliefs, whether it's Catholicism or Buddhism or whatever it is. Every single culture has some kind of lore with some kind of like demonic or supernatural thing that they've lived with their whole entire life. So I think that that makes like possession movies like a little bit more real because it could happen
Mhm.
theoretically, whether we believe it or not. I think it has an element of realness and levity to it. Um, Plus, I mean, every time you see a possession movie, it's either like a little kid or which could be like your daughter or your brother or your sister, and like anything that hits like that family nerve. I think it's just terrifying because nobody wants to see anybody like kind of in that position. Yeah, I think possession movies scare the shit out of me if they're good.
Yeah. That's
Hmm.
so fair. Seth, what do you think?
So I think personally, the thing that makes it so scary is it's like this invisible force that takes over somebody that like people are afraid of the unknown. And on top of that, I think too that like people are also afraid of like not being able to control their body and like losing all control of your senses and feeling things like that. I think that just scares the living shit out of people. I know it scares me. So I think those two things play such a huge factor in why possession is so scary is because it's something they can't control and people love control.
Yeah. Fair. Brian, what do you think?
I think they mostly covered it. I like the fact like Exorcist did it the best, but the like I think a lot of people think Exorcist is just like okay, we'll just phone a priest and then they'll come in and they'll exorcise the demon. Whereas the mum went down like all the scientific routes first, which was I think the best way to do it. Because if that was real life, you wouldn't just go, oh, I better go and get a priest and get somebody exorcised. You'd be like, okay, let's go to the doctor and we'll get a test done and everything. Which I think that's scarier that you don't know what it is that's happening because everyone can relate to health issues, or most people can relate to health issues and not knowing what it is. So that's what
Yeah.
scares me.
Well,
That's fair.
the good news for you, Brian, is if you are possessed, Gigi's mom will come save you.
Yes.
She'll come exercise you immediately.
Exorcise the demon.
That's good because I do no exercise, so that'll help us out.
I totally agree. I think okay, personally, possession movies have never scared me. I think it's so interesting when people are like that's the genre that really scares them because I feel like that is the number one genre that scares people is possession and it's never scared me, which I think is so weird because I was raised Catholic and so I went to Catholic school all my life and things that have religious stuff in it really intrigue me, but it's weird that it doesn't scare me, but I agree with you, Chuck, that I think it's because it feels like, "Oh, this could totally happen to somebody." Like, I could be possessed and, like, kinda mesh with what you said, Seth. It's like I have no control over that, you know? So it's not like some masked killer that I can maybe run away from or I can see it and feel it, but I don't know.
Ki
Weird.
Kinda to your point too, I feel like religion does have, like, a huge factor in possession
Yeah.
as well, because most possession movies are about, like, Christianity and belief and things like that, and Catholicism, where, like, Judaism, like, for me, like, we never learned about demons growing up in, like, Hebrew school, things like that, so, like, I was talking to you guys on our group chat last night that I really didn't know much about Jewish demons until a few years ago, and those are still also tied to, like, Catholicism and things like that,
Yeah,
so
totally.
Hmm.
I think that also plays a huge factor.
Yeah. Okay, I need to ask, do you guys believe that people can be possessed?
So there's part of that and like the Torah and things like that that it is a thing, but it's not something that like is widely known. Like I've never like there's never been open discussions about that or like possession or like demons. It's kind of just like, you know, evil versus bad, but it's not like demons, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. What do
I
you
kind of
think, Brian? No, go ahead,
Like,
Seth.
I'm done.
I believe in it in the same way I believe in like ghosts, and that I like to think it happens. If somebody says, "Look, we've got evidence," I'll be like, "Cool, I believe it." But as it currently stands, I like to think it's there, but I don't really think it's there. Similar to aliens,
You don't believe in aliens?
I want to believe in aliens, but there's not enough. I need some kind of evidence that there's aliens. So I want to believe. I'm like
There's
Mulder. Like I want
there's
to
zero
believe. I just there's
chance.
no.
Zero chance
Hasn't
we're
the
the only people on this like
hasn't the
giant
government
planet.
come out and been like aliens are real 100% and we were all just like, "Okay,
Whatever.
we know."
I mean, pretty much they've said
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
for the most part.
So
I do
there
I do not I do not believe it in possession. Like I don't
uh-huh.
have any tangible evidence, but um I think anything's possible. I lean way more to believing it than not believing it. Same with, aliens and ghosts.
That's so I believe in a little bit of everything. I'm one of those people that it's like, yeah, maybe God exists. Yeah, maybe fairies exist or ghosts exist or whatever. But possession is at the very bottom of that list where I'm like,
Yeah, I'm with you.
I I don't like it's not that I don't believe it, but it is like so minuscule that I actually believe in it that it could actually happen. I don't know, which leads me to my next question because like possession movies are based on like true events. A lot of them are based on true stories, true events. What's your favorite based on true events possession horror movie? I'll start with you, Seth.
Oh, great, because I wanted to go first before you
I
all
know I
take
saw
mine.
you. You were like,
Let's go. Conjuring.
"Ooh, okay,
I
okay."
I think it's done so well, and that is like the only possession and like just downright terrifying movie that really actually got under my skin. I think that movie's done so well, and I think that that whole story is just so creepy. And if the house exists, I mean, few people can go stay in it.
Who's who do you know the person that it's based off of though?
I don't, not off
I
the
wanna
top of my head.
No, I don't either. Um,
You can definitely stay in that house.
yeah, The
Yeah.
Elaine
Conjuring.
just did.
What?
Yeah, Elaine just did.
Let's see,
For a
it's
night.
ba
I think she stayed in it for a night.
Yeah, that's all you could get me to go in there for. And I don't even
oh,
believe in
that's
that shit, but
sick.
nope.
I don't know why it's, like, not, like, popping up, like, boom, but the movie is based on the Perrin family. Is that the real family?
I think so.
A Bathsheba?
Yeah.
Okay. I should know this. Sydney just covered it on her podcast. Okay, I love The Conjuring. That's a great one.
Yeah.
Brian, what about you?
I can't think of any off the top of my head, so I'll go random, and you guys can't dispute it because I don't think anybody's seen it. It's a Turkish horror movie called Siccin, Siccin,
Oh,
which is
I've seen
about
it.
there's like six of them. And they're all possession, and they are pretty good. Lots of jump scares, but a lot of folklore, which I know we all kind of like. So yeah,
And
Siccin.
that's based on a true story?
Apparently, like it opens with these are based on true stories. I think it's because they're like black magic is real and don't use it because it goes against the Quran. So that's like the based on true story is that somebody's cursed somebody and they've become possessed.
Oh, okay. I love it when they're like, "Oh, it's based on a true story," but it's like the person's name and that's like it. And I'm like, "Oh, well, not really." Chuck, what about you?
I think like our favorite of all time, based on a true story. I think the Amityville Horror.
Oh,
Both
okay.
both the original and I think I don't give a fuck what anybody says. The one with Ryan Reynolds rips.
Thank you.
I
Thank
love that
you.
one.
No,
Yeah.
it. Listen, I almost watched it again last night, but instead I watched Friday the 13th '09. But I was going to watch the Amityville Horror, and you know why I didn't watch it? Because it was 2 o'clock in the morning, and I knew that I wouldn't sleep from watching that Ryan Reynolds one because that movie is legitimately scary.
No, it's so
Um,
creepy.
This is why I
it's
love
so
us.
it's so good too, but like if you read the reviews on it, people just shit all up, and it's so good. Like it's arguably better than the original, and I love the original, but like
Thank you.
that, both of them are scary, and like that's based on that's like legit based on a true story. So I
Yeah.
think I like the original Amityville Horror more than The Exorcist, and I know that's a bold take. I just think it's
No.
scarier.
It's valid.
Yeah. I am so glad you said that because I rewatched
Yeah.
the Ryan Reynolds one not that long ago and I was like, God, this movie's so good. And I think I went to go like log it in Letterbox and I was like, oh, okay, maybe I won't because everyone's gonna know that I loved it and everyone shits on it. I did not realize that like people hate the movie.
The only reason
But
to
I
hate
think
on it is
that
because of Ryan Reynolds. Like there was a whole period of time where it was like cool to hate on Ryan Reynolds, and that
because
fell
it
under that
was that
time.
was yep, that was
Poor
right at the
Ryan.
that was like right at the Van Wilder stage, Ryan
Yeah,
Reynolds, when he was just like this arrogant, like
That's when
Oh,
he was his best. Though Van Wilder was so
it's
good, and
great.
Two Guys
I
a
yeah,
Girl
you
in
mean
the
the
Pizza Place.
classic?
Yeah,
I love Van Wilder, but I'm
Yeah,
saying a lot of people didn't like his like arrogant, like
Yeah.
jock humor type kind of thing that he had.
then he popped his shirt
Um,
Okay.
off, and I was like 5 stars.
Yeah.
Whatever.
yeah,
Five
I
stars just
guess
for
he
shirtless Ryan Reynolds.
right.
yeah I guess he showed those people about 5 billion times over with his
Yeah.
revenue stream. So
Yeah,
Yeah, and his gorgeous wife.
right.
Sorry, but
yeah, whoops.
oops, I know. Damn. I think my favorite based on a true story, even though I don't believe the true story whatsoever, is The Exorcism of Emily Rose. I think The
I
Exorcism of
was gonna
Emily Rose
say
is
that.
so good. But if you look into like the true stories of all of these movies, I mean, I guess with the exception of The Conjuring, I've never really looked into it and whatever the hell Brian's movie named, but like the Amityville one, like all of these or like the freaking what's the Kyle Gallner one? Haunting in Connecticut. Like all of
Hmm.
these, like when you really look into it, I'm like, oh, this is so this did not happen. This was not
Yeah.
real at all. Like they just faked it or it
That
was mental illness.
yeah, they creatively embellish a lot.
Yes.
Hmm.
So, but love The Exorcism of Emily Rose, great one. I skipped over a question. I was gonna ask, uh, possession movies. I love them, but I also think that they could be super fucking cheesy. Like it is so easy to make them cheesy. And I think that's why I don't find them like that scary sometimes. So what are tropes in possession movies that we absolutely hate, but then some that we absolutely love? Because there are tropes in there that I do love. Chuck, I'm gonna start with you.
I, g- I guess the trope that I don't like the most is probably the whole, this is going to lead to calling some priest from some other place to come in and do this. Um, and I'll hold off on talking about my counter to that in the lesser known possession movie section. So I don't want to use it now, but, because, well, no, there's a movie out there that took a really different approach to possession films. But yeah, like, like the Right with Anthony Hopkins, these fucking fat donut eating Russell Crowe possession movies. All of them are like, oh, there's a demon in this child. Oh, let's call Dunkin' Donuts and get Russell to run over here and fucking exorcise this demon. And it's just like, that shit's annoying to me. It's,
Russell Crowe just catching
there's
strays. He's like, what?
he works for Blumhouse.
I know.
I
He's
have-
like,
I have
fuck
to go
Dark
next.
Screen Society.
Yeah.
Yes, Seth, go next.
Russell,
I have to go
I love Gladiator, Russell. I'm sorry that you eat donuts now.
Listen, Chuck, I'm going to tell you right now because I couldn't think of any tropes I hated, but I will tell you one trope that I do need more of, and that's Russell Crowe riding on a fucking scooter to exorcise the fucking demons, okay? I need more priests riding scooters around Italy with a beer belly.
Right. Right, with Krispy Kremes in his side satchel.
Oh my God. Poor Russell.
Just looking absolutely ridiculous.
Right. Oh, this is unhinged. Fanny
my
pack full of
God.
donuts.
That's
Yeah.
what I need.
Oh my God.
Holy water
Holy
check.
shit.
Holy water check. Cross check. Jimmy's check.
Does the scooter have gas? Check.
Yeah. And better shocks.
Oh my God. Okay, Brian, what trope do you hate?
I hate Exorcist did it the best, where Reagan was swearing when she was possessed. Now they all do it, and it's like you have to say something about, like their mom or something that really offend them. Like, why did demons have to be like so obviously evil all the time? It's like, we've already done the swearing thing perfectly the first time. Don't copy it exactly in every other one, and then let's have a green vomit as well, because that's what they do apparently. So I think people watch that and they're like, that must be what an exorcism's like, and then they just mimic it, and so that pisses me off when it's unoriginal.
Man, I would love to be in a possession horror movie and just say the most foul shit. They're like, okay, say the most foul shit that you can think of. I'm like, I'm ready.
You already do. I have to edit it out every week.
You just say fuck Brian on repeat.
In a raspy voice, fuck Brian. Holy shit. I think that's honestly probably one of my like the trope that I don't really like the most, but I get why they do it, is like the whole demon voice thing. Sometimes I think they could do it well, and then sometimes I'm like, what, like if I didn't have subtitles on, I'm like, what the fuck are they saying? Like you can't even understand it. And it's just like, and sometimes it's just like overly cheesy, just depending on how they decided to do the edit. Like sometimes I think it's done well, but that
do you know what else goes hand in hand with that? And it's in literally every possession movie, is not only at some point are they going to say like really offensive words, but at one point in the movie, they're going to bend backwards. And they've been trying to recreate the Reagan down the stairs scene literally a million times, with whether it's the sideways head or the bones twisting back or this. Like, we've had enough. Like we've seen all that. Like, be a little bit more inventive, like Deborah Logan, and swallow a fucking kid's head. Like, that's original. You know what I mean? Like,
that's so
Chuck is like, kill a kid, okay?
It's so great.
Grow up and kill a kid.
Yeah, fuck them kids. Jesus Christ.
Wow. Oh my God. Okay, well, what tropes do we like in possession horror movies? We're like, none. I'm just kidding. Yeah. I can't like. I honestly
think
don't.
I think the tropes in possession movies are like, they walk down the same street. Like, all the ones that I hate, I kind of love them, because like even cheesy possession movies are kind of cool, because I keep watching them. Like, they keep making them and we keep watching them, and so there has to be something to it that you're attracted to. So I think it's a little bit of both, actually.
Yeah, no, that's so fair. I genuinely do. I don't like that they like to recreate like the freaking, spider Reagan scene, but I do actually like the whole inhuman body movements, because inhuman body movements are so fucking creepy to me. So I actually do really like that trope.
Yeah, like Teresa the Bone Woman.
I've never freaking seen it.
Or anything for Jackson, the bag-headed guy in anything
yes.
for Jackson.
Yeah.
Yes.
Teresa the Bone Woman got some wicked body horror in it.
Yeah,
like, and it's like, it's
I think you would like it.
Scary. Yeah, it's
no,
good.
I so know that I would. And I've seen like the trailer for it, and I remember like when it because didn't it come out not that long ago?
Just last year.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, like, last year, I was gonna say, I remember when it dropped, I loved the cover of it, and so I was like, "Oh, I totally gotta watch this," and it's just been sitting on my watch list.
Especially because you like La Lorna and all that, like, history and everything, all that stuff. I think you really like that movie. It's good.
Yeah, but I'm fucking out here watching The Mousetrap, and so
Yeah, that's right. Watching the Mousetrap. Thanks for watching.
Seth, what about you? What trope do you like?
Honestly, I'm the same with you. Like, body horror freaks me out. Like when bones are like cracking and like being put in the wrong like positions. But I also really like all the stuff that happens before the possession. Like in The Conjuring, like the demon, like when the wind blows, the sheet goes into the demon. I think that stuff is like so much more terrifying to me than the possession itself. So
Yeah.
I love all of the like hauntings that happen before that kind of like sets up the whole possession. That's my favorite thing.
I love that. Hmm.
What about you, Brian?
I don't know if I have a favorite. Like I'm like you. I'm not a huge possession fan. I don't
Mhm.
think. The more I was researching, the more I was like, there's some I like, but I don't think that I like enough that I like a trope from all of them. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I will pass.
I feel like it's just a hard thing to tackle. Like there aren't that many great ones out there. Like
Yeah.
there's very few and far between that are really good.
Oh, one thing I do like too is when, like, their face gets all gross and nasty. I do like that because I think it's just gross to look at.
If it's done well, but some of the CGI when you see them, and it's just like, oh,
Oh, yeah, no, some of the CGI is god awful. But okay. What do we think is the greatest possession movie of all time?
The Exorcist.
Crickets.
just anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
anybody.
Exorcist.
The
I mean,
Exorcist?
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's almost insulting as a horror fan. Whether you love The Exorcist and it's your favorite movie, it's almost insulting to the genre for it to not be The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's the mother of the possession movie. Like people have been chasing that forever, like literally forever. I personally think that Ken Russell's The Devils is a significantly way better film, but I don't know if it's the greatest possession film of all time because it's so controversial. But it's a film that everybody should see because it
Is that
tackles
what
it from
Oliver
more
Reed?
like a what's that?
Is that what Ollie Reed in it?
Yeah,
Actor.
from 70, 79, yeah, 70,
Okay,
yeah,
I don't
78
know
or
if I've seen it,
79.
to be honest.
It's I'm not I think it's on the Criterion channel. It was on Shutter for a little bit, but it takes it more from like the social standpoint of like Catholicism and how it's not necessarily demons possessing, but like how like a group of people that have faith in something can like possess people to like sacrifice their life. It's a very good movie.
I was just curious if anybody was gonna say, like, Evil Dead, because that's technically a possession movie. The Evil
Yeah.
Dead, or Possession, though I personally hate
Hated.
I
Hmm.
hate Possession, but I know people absolutely love it, and
I will
I get why people love it.
I will say Talk to Me is also up there for
Oh,
me now.
fuck yeah.
I
Yeah.
think Talk to Me is like
Compared to The Exorcist.
well, The
Which one?
Exorcist is the best
Pick.
for sure, but I would say Talk to Me is like right after that for me. I think that
Oh,
was such a original, cool story that they told there, and it honestly scared the living fuck out of me. I've only seen it the one time. Like I want to watch it again, but that was
yeah.
great too.
I was, like, trying to reach for mine
Yeah,
too. Dude,
I
I love it.
It's good.
yeah.
Hmm.
It's so
When
good. I
Evil
know, I was gonna
Lurks.
say oh, yeah, When Evil Lurks, that's a great one. What's, like, another, like,
Damn it,
of
I was going to
all
mention that later.
time
Conjuring is up there, I think, as well.
yeah, The
Is Conjuring
Conjuring.
2
Does
not better
does
than Conjuring 1?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Like I think I've watched them all once.
I also
There's
does
hate the
it
this one around the
story in
Warrens.
Conjuring 2
yeah.
'cause I think
Yeah,
that
I
that
can't
is,
even
like,
remember them.
downright fake as fuck.
Mhm.
Does it bother you? Does it bother you? Like this is for me because like I would have sat here and talked about The Conjuring for 6 months because I loved it. But as soon as everything came out and like the whole entire debunking of the Warrens being like a total complete sham, like
Yeah.
that almost ruins the movie for me because like now like I've watched it again after they have they're hucksters, you know what I mean? So like when you go back and watch it, it's like okay, so the rest of this is just a hoax. Like it like same with The Fourth Kind. Like when I watch a fourth, like as soon as you know that it isn't real, like it loses its luster and like that, and that sucks because that's what happened with The Conjuring. But like it's still a really good movie. It just don't hit the way that it did when I first seen it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No, I
Totally.
think that totally makes sense. I have always looked at it because, like I said, I don't really believe in the
Hmm.
stories, that I just kind of look at them as fiction anyways. So even
Right.
though it like came out that like Ed and Lorraine are absolute fucking bottom feeders, I'm just like, I kind of looked at it as just Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga anyways, as like they are just
Yeah.
like this fictional characters that
Right.
it didn't even ruin the stories for me.
100%.
I fucking love them.
Not the third
Um,
one though.
No.
no, I hate the second one and the third one because
Hmm.
I thought the second one was whatever, and I hate the story it's based on, and the third one I just thought was so boring. Um, but that's just me. But I love The Conjuring. I think The Conjuring is great.
Hmm.
I agree.
Uh, The Wailing is also possession, huh? Is
Huh?
that possession movie? Huh?
I think so.
Yeah,
Hey,
I
shut
would
up,
say
Brian.
I would say it's possession horror.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The,
Okay.
the
Wait, what were you
medium,
gonna say?
the medium
Oh,
too.
okay. So this
I'm
kind of
just
gets into
keep
our
stealing all my ideas.
I
Cool.
know, I know. So okay, we all agree that the greatest exorcism movie of all I mean possession movie of all time is The Exorcist.
Yeah.
Yes? Are
Yeah.
we all in agreement?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was ready to
I
kick somebody
agree.
off. I'm like, "Oh, and we're looking for a new Dark Screen Society member." What are some lesser known possession movies that you want to recommend? I'm going to start with Brian because I feel like you got some weird ones in there.
Why did I use sicken so early? Damn it.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm totally stumped now.
So, okay, what's it called? Second?
No, Siccin.
It's the sequel to Stanley Tucci.
So I watched the Vigil, and I'll be honest, I didn't think it was that great, Seth. Sorry, I know you're a fan,
It's okay.
but
The
it's
What, the
Vigil.
more
vigil?
it's
The
more
vigil?
yeah, it's more kind of like loud noise
Mhm.
scare. So I think it's really cool story and idea. Just the concept didn't quite
Oh.
land for me because it relies too much on loud noise scares, which I'm not a
Yeah.
just don't do it for me. Can you come back to me?
No.
I'll
That's your
I'll just
pick.
talk
Just
over
kidding.
you. Then I'll talk over you for the rest of the podcast.
Chuck, what about you? You got some weird ones in there. I know you do.
I think the best possession movie of the last
Godless.
10 yeah, without a doubt, 10, 15 years is Godless, the Eastfield Exorcism. And I
Not
think
real?
it, well, it is, it's based on a true story, and the approach that they took is so different than everything else because they literally go through science, culture, how
Ooh.
people grew up, and then they juxtapose that against the traditional trope of we got to get this priest to come from this place to come do this thing. You know what I mean? So like it's a really thought-provoking and challenging take on possession films. I think it is it's from the same guy that did Violet. And I think it's
Oh
absolutely
yeah.
brilliant. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
It's
it's
so
it's
much
it's just a
better than Violet. I like
Wow.
Violet.
yeah,
It's okay, but Godless is fantastic. Like
yeah.
you're right. There was
It's a
so
really
as soon as you
fucking
said
good one.
earlier you're going to mention a film that's different take on it, I was like, he's definitely going to say Godless, which is why I didn't
Yeah,
say it.
that's what it is. Because it's so good. Like it's really,
It is.
really good.
I still need to watch it, but that's exactly what Slasher Talk said as well. He was like, it's just such a different take because he's not like a religious horror person either. And he was
And
like, it's just such a different take on it.
yeah, and credit to Justin Bryant, who runs Slasher Talk, because there's a lot of people on TikTok and the internet that lay claim to finding that movie, and that
Oh yeah,
movie
no.
came from Justin Slasher Talk, so he gets the credit for that because that's where it fucking came from. He's the one that found it.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Hundo P. What about you, Seth?
Hundo,
Hundo P.
Hundo P.
I have a few, and one is definitely more known, but I really like it. But I'll get to that one last. But Cleansing Hour is a really good one.
Ooh,
And that one
I
has
like
Kyle
that.
Gallner in
Mm-hmm.
it, and
Yeah, it's good.
another one is it's called Demon. It's from 2015, and it's
Polish
about
one.
this Polish one, and it
Mhm.
basically all takes place at a wedding, and it's fucking awesome. It rips. I definitely recommend that one. And then Paranormal Activity Marked Ones. I think that's my favorite
Oh,
Paranormal Activity film.
same.
And I just think the like what they do and like the direction that it goes is so cool to me.
I fucking love that one. It's so
Should
good.
I watch that?
I
You've
think
never seen the
so.
marked ones?
Mm-mm.
Oh my god, you would have so much fun.
It's
I
like
love
no, because
the marked
I
ones.
kind of get, I think was that like the fifth or sixth one?
Yeah, it's like the fifth one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because I gave up on. Was that before or after Next of Kin?
Before. Next
before.
of Kin was the
Okay, see,
newest one, and that show was I didn't even watch it.
No, even
Yeah,
Jason
and
Blum himself was like, "This one fucking sucked."
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, if Jason
I'm gonna
Blum didn't like it, maybe it's amazing because the films he's picking
Yeah.
these days.
yeah, his picker's broken.
Marked Ones
Yeah.
is good. Definitely watch it.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it's
watch
so
it.
good. I think you'll
I
like
might
it.
watch it whenever we're done recording. Actually,
I really don't know, like a lesser known possession. I don't really seek out possession films, so I guess the only like lesser known one would be Anything for Jackson. Like that's
I love that movie.
I mean, I love it. It's like
I
one of the
know.
movies that scared me. It's freaky. I think it's got great visuals in it. It's got old
Mhm.
people and they're just naturally scary, unfortunately. And I think it's a great one. A banger.
Yeah, there's another one on Netflix that's a banger, and like I don't do no Netflix anything because their movies are trash. But there's a movie on there called Incantation that's a fucking banger,
Oh,
and
I just,
I
I
think
was
that's a
so
possession
disappointed with
movie.
Incantation.
You didn't
that's
like it?
foreign, huh?
I think I hyped it up too much because I was like, okay, it's found footage, it's Asian, it's going to be everything I want. So I put it off for ages and ages, and I watched it. And I was like, oh, it was good, but I expected it to be the best horror movie I'd seen. It just didn't quite. So it was my own fault. I built it up too
Right.
much.
It is your
So,
fault.
But that's like one of them ones. That's like one of them ones that hits different when you're the person that stumbles across it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
totally.
yeah. So I agree with you. Yeah, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was good.
so one
Is-
I want to mention. Hold on, Gigi.
No, go ahead. You're like, shut
I-
up.
Pipe down, Gigi.
I know. Get back in your box. One that I didn't personally like, but a lot of people seem to love is The Possession of Michael King. I don't know if anybody's seen that.
I haven't seen that.
No.
It's
I've
a
seen
found footage one. I think it's a little bit cheesy and relies on loud noise scares. But a lot of people, I put a review and people were like, "No, you're wrong. This is the scariest movie I've ever seen." I was like, "Fair enough." Didn't work for me, but for a lot of people, it seems to be so. So, Gigi, you'll probably like it.
I've seen clips of this one, but I don't think I've ever like actually seen it. But I hate loud noise stuff.
Like
Possession of
the
Michael.
concept of it's really good because he's like, I don't believe in possession stuff, so I'm going to go out and speak to like all these black magic people and make one of them try and possess me, and I'll prove that it's not real. But then he becomes possessed. It's
Okay,
like,
that's kinda fun.
actually, it's kind of interesting. Like it started off really good, but then it's like they're staring at the screen, and he's like, and I'm like, who are you trying to scare there? Me. It pisses me off. But yeah.
One possession horror movie that people freaking hate that I love is The Lazarus Effect. I love
I
The
like that
Lazarus
movie.
Effect, and everyone shits on it. Like it's got a 2.1
like
on
it.
Letterboxd, and most of the reviews are like 1.5 star, 2 stars. I thought it was so good. Did you like it, Brian?
It was fine.
Is that the Olivia Wilde one?
Yeah,
Not Olivia. I can't remember it if I'm honest.
really. Yeah, it has
I've kind of
has Mark Duplass,
sorry.
Olivia Wilde.
Oh really?
I think
Maybe I've not
Donald
seen it. I like Mark
Glover.
Duplass.
Evan
Yeah, I've
Peters, like all these
definitely not seen
huge
that.
fucking. Oh my god, I think it's so fucking good. I think it's on Tubi.
What about
Tubi.
Oculus? Oculus slaps.
Tubi.
Yo, yeah, and that's considered possession.
Yeah, because the
See,
dad
it's
animal.
yeah, it's so weird. Like when you think of like possession, I think of like movies that start with like the possession of or like the exorcism of, but then you have things like Oculus where it's like no, they kind of just get taken over by a dark force and you don't know what it is. Yeah, I love Oculus. It's a great one. Shout out Mike Flanagan.
Right. Our favorite.
We love you, Mike.
We
Nobody's
love
listening.
you.
We love you.
We
Mike.
know he is. What are some possession movies that have come out this year? And what are some that are going to come out this year? I know the one that's going to come out this year that I have not seen the movies that it's based off of is Apartment 7A. I know that that is a prequel to Rosemary's Baby, but I've never seen
Mhm.
Rosemary's Baby. But a
Mm.
lot of people are looking forward to that one.
Julie
Mm.
Garner's brilliant.
she's great.
So, so I think I have faith in her. picking the right roles.
Yeah, she's
We'll
great.
see.
Have possession movies come? Well, Late Night with the
Late
Devil.
Night with the Devil. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a banger. What else has come out that's possession? I should know, but there's just too many. There's too many movies
Oh,
out there.
Immaculate. I guess
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, is she possessed? Well,
the First Omen,
I don't.
or is
Oh,
that
yeah,
I don't know if
yeah.
they're possessed. They're more kind of Antichrist than
Yeah.
possession.
I-
no?
Yeah, they're
I
not.
guess
I don't
so.
think they're possession movies.
Then I
Let's
guess
see.
Late Night with the Devil is like really the only one.
There'll definitely
Yeah,
be like 30 have come out and we've missed every one of them.
I know.
Gigi's
I'm
probably
like,
watched them
oh,
all.
I know. I'm like, how the fuck did I not think of this? Obviously, like, not really like that noteworthy. Um, no, I was gonna say Disappear Completely, but no, that's like a witchcraft movie. No, there's really not a lot of them, honestly.
There's not. There hasn't been a lot of them that have come out.
Well,
Um,
all except we're forgetting from our
The Russell
boy,
Crowe? Yeah, Russell Crowe one.
The Exorcism,
Oh
which
yeah, that was.
I've
so,
seen
that was
twice but
so
never
good.
actually finished.
I never
So
watched it.
good.
Nah, didn't start it. Got
There's
invited to the
two
premiere.
coming. There's two coming out that I was really curious about. And there's one called The Demon Disorder, and there's not like much about it, but it's a
Yes.
typical like possession type movie. But the one that I'm really and this has moved way like obviously Nosferatu, Alien Romulus, and there's some other movies strewn in between that like I'm beyond excited about. But the new one that I'm on now that I'm obsessed with, it's called Hold Your Breath. And it takes place in 1930s Oklahoma, and they have these like horrific dust storms, but there's like something in them that gets into the like
Oh, that's
possesses
cool.
people from the storms. But Eben Moss Bacharach is in it, and he plays Richie on The Bear on
Yeah. Oh,
Hulu.
Sarah Paulson's in it.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
he's awesome. So it was just like something like the cast, 1930s Oklahoma, dust storm, some possession. It just sounds like something so different. So like I'm kind of real into that one.
Yeah,
Is
yeah. This one's on my watch list. It comes out in October.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Fantastic Fest. Please be there.
I know.
yeah, it looks cool.
Is the one with Halle Berry about possession that's coming out?
No, but the one that is about possession is The Deliverance. That is about possession. The one that's gonna come out on Netflix later this month.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one looks kind of good. It looks like it's gonna be kind of like cheesy religious, like, but it had some scenes in the trailer that looked pretty good, and that one's based on a true story of a family in Indiana that was like going through like crazy shit. So I don't know. Maybe that one will be good. But I get skeptical of like straight to Netflix movies.
Does Oddity count because they possess the Wooden Man?
We don't know what the possession is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like saying Pinocchio's possessed.
True.
Well, how do you know?
He might actually be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the Demon Disorder I am very excited for. The poster looks so creepy.
Yeah, there's another one coming out called I Will Never Leave You Alone. It's
Oh.
about this guy that gets out of prison and he has to stay in this house to like clear the spirits. And there's not even a trailer for it, but there's like a couple there's a couple stills and a couple clips, and it looks like something that could be one of those ones that like where the fuck did this movie come from type kind of movies.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess Smile too. That's possession, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Smile too.
I am too. Now I am.
I
don't
love
know.
Smile.
I thought it was just like
I like Smile
okay.
as well.
Yeah.
Like I didn't hate it. I just thought it was okay. I need to rewatch it. Like, when you rewatch a movie and then you're like, okay, I have a better appreciation of it. That's what I need to do with It Follows. I keep trying to like It Follows, and I don't know. I think Smile is just like a better It Follows.
It Follows is so good.
I think
I have to give them both another day in court.
Same.
I'm with you, Brian.
Like
Oh my God.
it's one of those things that kind of it makes you feel uneasy, which a lot of horror movies don't do. So that's why
You're
I like
always
It Follows.
uneasy, Brian.
So true.
I need to give it another.
I
I
am,
need
like,
to-
only when I'm awake.
Especially when he's taking on all this verbal abuse.
I know. amount of messages
When
I
I'm
got after the
conscious.
last podcast being like, "Why were Gigi and Chuck so mean to you last episode?" I was like, "I don't know."
No, they didn't, did they?
Just
Me?
just a punching bag. Of this shit.
Not me.
Just the start of the podcast where you were like, "Hurry the fuck up, Brian."
Jesus.
Oh my god, I love
Mm.
it. Yeah, I think those are all the Possession ones coming out this year, but I'm sure some freaking, you know, someone that I've never heard of is going to pop up on YouTube like next week. But
Yeah.
well, I think that wraps it all up. Do we have any last words? No.
I can't wait till Thursday to see Alien Romulus.
Oh my god, I know. I'm very excited for Alien Romulus. I even bought a shirt for it. Are we watching any other movies? Is there any others that come out later this week? Freaking
Oh,
It's okay.
Seth's face hugger.
They come out this week. There's it's coming out this week. There's a Screambox movie coming out this week called We Are Zombies. It's pretty good. It's a real
yeah.
different take on. It's a little bit of a different take on zombies. Kind of a
That looked
comedy.
fun.
It actually is like just shut your brain off, watch it like it was enjoyable.
I love that.
And then that Lore movie's coming out with Richard Brake. It's a anthology.
oh yeah, I seen that. It looks
Campfire,
quite interesting. The
supernatural.
British one.
Yes, yeah, the British one. Yeah, that's coming out this end of the week as well.
Nice. Consumed is coming out.
And
You saw
Hostile
it.
Dimensions comes out next week.
What?
Wait.
There's another hostel?
No, Hostile
Hostile
Dimensions.
Hostile Dimensions.
I was about to
Fun.
say.
No, that one comes out the 23rd, but I'm excited. I'm excited for the August releases. We got some good ones coming out.
We do.
Oh, your Strange Darling. That's coming out.
That comes out. Yeah, and
I can't wait till
Stream.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Stream.
Movie fucking rips, Chuck.
I can't.
what's
It's coming on
Tuesday?
Tuesday. Strange Darling comes and gets dropped in the
Wow.
box.
Oh,
You applied for it, didn't you, Brian?
I did, but I've not heard back. I just like, well, like, do you want that? I was like, yeah, and then I never heard again.
I just followed up with them on Friday. He said he'll send
Okay,
it on
well, I'll
Tuesday.
drop him. I'll
So you
drop him
should
a
follow
message.
up with it. Yeah. Mhm.
That one I do want to watch in theaters.
You have to. I'm excited to hear what you all have to think about it because it takes you for a fucking wild ride because it's not in chronological order.
Seth, do you think it's like up? Do you think it's could land in like your top 5, top 10?
It was last year for sure, and it
No,
was.
but, I mean, but now that it's a 2024 release, stacked up against this year's. Slate.
Yeah, I would say because it's one of the best thrillers I've ever seen. Like it's so unique and out there. Like the only thing I can say to you and like the audience listening in right now is like stick with it because it gets very fucking uncomfortable, but like it's worth it. Like just stick with it.
I'm
And
excited for
I
it.
can't wait.
Yeah,
I hope it's a slow burn. I like it. That's my jam. So
it's definitely a top 5. You're gonna like knowing you, Chuck. I know you're gonna fucking absolutely eat it up.
okay,
I just want to
can't
do
wait.
it so I can tag Kyle Gallner and hopefully he notices me. I'm like, hey, Kyle.
Yeah.
I know. He never notices me. That's okay
Fucking
though.
love Kyle
Someday.
Gallner.
That's okay. You always have the mousetrap, people. Judy.
Yeah, I know.
Listen,
Well,
Matt Bettinelli.
Shut up, everybody. No, I'm just kidding. That's a wrap on
Thanks for
today's
watching.
episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to rate, like, subscribe, share, all the good things that helps us. I also have been listening. Well, I listen to podcasts all the time, but I didn't know if you turn on automatic downloads, that really helps us too. So if you love us, turn on automatic downloads. And I think that's it. Am I missing anything, Seth? I'm trying to get as good as you.
Stay haunting, people.
Oh yeah, and stay haunting. Bye.
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 Bye, Felicia.